Welcome to 2019, everybody, and welcome to the Unicorn Circuit, your 14th favourite show.
14th favourite show.
Yeah.
The best show on the internet this minute.
That's right. Because I was going to say 14 because there's 13 automotive bloggers who's pretending there's drama doing some selfie camera action that will get watched before this.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, because that's the way the world turns around.
Do you know why? Because they showed their people what they had for breakfast. They went to whatever the breakfast place is in their country, and they got breakfast and went, next up, I'm going to go and work on the car, and then they drive the car to a mechanics and go, I worked on it.
And imagine watching a show that's kind of partly based around just watching people eat something.
Mukbang.
What a disgrace.
Mukbang.
Boring.
Yeah, it's all about the mukbang.
There's some big news, people,
Huge
when
news.
it comes to electric cars.
No, what?
Yeah, we're going there.
No, we're not.
We're talking Supras, people. We're talking STIs. We're talking there's some big Mighty Car Mods news happening. There's all sorts of cool things happening, so let's just dive right into the news.
The biggest news that is just big, and everyone knows it's coming, just like they know that they all know that BMW just made a new Supra.
That's right.
Controversy.
But here's the thing, Martin. As far as I know, of course, they share a lot of internals. Of course, they share a lot of basic bits and pieces. That is the new 2020 Supra and the BMW Z4.
And I'm happy about it.
The Z4.
I'm good with it. All tastes aside in cars, I'm just glad that someone somewhere made another two-door coupe that has a 6-cylinder turbocharged engine, because, let's get real, people.
No, it doesn't.
This is the past.
No.
This is the past.
Martin,
these kind of cars are the past. They are not the future. Be very, 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 very aware. These cars are not the future, and there's not going to be a crap load more of them.
You're right, except you're wrong, because this is the thing that just shocked me this morning, right?
The Supra is a 4-cylinder?
No, the Supra is an inline 6 turbo.
That's great.
Right?
Yeah.
Which in Australia is meant to be about $78,000 before you're on roads.
78 grand.
Yeah, $78,000. Pretty expensive, right? But here's where we're right and we're wrong. I'm doing to try and collateralise the efficiency of this show. And that is that the Z4, is that what it's called? A Z4? I don't know much about BMWs.
Z4?
But anyway, so certainly their specs, it's like a 2-litre engine.
Yep.
And it costs more.
Because it's fancier?
Because it's a fancier thing. And then eventually, as you go up through the different iterations of it, if you want the proper one with the same engine as the Supra, $125,000.
Right.
So there's more models without that engine than with the engine.
Okay.
And I think that's because you would just go buy the Supra. Now, nobody from either camp actually thinks the car looks awesome, by the way. BMW people are like not really happy about these angular lines.
Right.
The Toyota people are going, I'm not sure about this. No one has just said, yeah, the car looks awesome.
Yep.
Because you were saying the car looks like a happy dog, right?
Well, I think the back of the car, second I saw it, the first photos, I thought it looked like Grumpy Cat. The back of the car, just straight away, I saw Grumpy Cat frowning away. The back's to me is a bit frowny and a bit cranky, and to me the Supra is a happy car. It's like, I got a turbo 6, I'm probably going to be very easy to modify and make ridiculously fast. Let's smile about it. Like the MX-5's a little happy looking thing.
All Mazdas are, they got that silly
they got a happy looking
on
thing, but they also look a bit stupid. So Supra, I was hoping for tough.
Yeah. I mean, the front of it does look angular, it looks good. I actually think, Martin, that the BMW, if you have a look at the images, I think the Z4 looks better from the front than the Supra does, just because it's like super angular-y. But there's only going to be a couple of hundred of them in Australia, 300 in the first 12 months. So I think they're kind of trying to create demand and do stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But being turbocharged, there's going to be awesome aftermarket for them, which is pretty exciting.
Yep.
And then later on, we'll see how they go. Eventually, though, these are the cars that while we can't afford now, unless you're some gaming YouTube person, eventually these are the cars that they'll trickle down to us and we'll be able to buy them for cheap.
Absolutely. I mean,
I'd own one.
Yeah, absolutely. Once it loses that first bit of depreciation, then I would be totally keen. Because I mean, if you go and buy an Evo or a nice GTT Skyline or something, like you're paying in the 20s and 30s and early, mid 30s. Potentially when those cars sort of hit that level, like the FT86s and VRZs when they first came out and people were paying 50 something.
You can get them in the 10s now.
Yeah, they were
cheap.
Not long ago, then they were in the 20s, then they're in the teens, and now it's like bang. If you want one and you want to go get something that's sort of newish and reliable and modifiable, and that was the car, I think the Supra is going to be that car.
I mean, they ain't no Yaris though. And let's be completely honest. I'm going to count to 3 and I want a totally honest answer. If right now you had some car keys and you could go downstairs and there was either a Yaris or the new Supra there on 3, what would you have? 1, 2, 3.
Supra.
Yaris. Really?
Yeah, I would.
I'd take a Yaris.
No.
100%.
I would just shut, every time I walk towards it, I'd shut my eyes and I'd drive it. And I'm driving probably like quite a nicely put together Euro-esque thing.
Well, it is Euro as well.
Yeah.
They're built in Austria. So this is the thing. There's a lot of Interbol's discussion about this. Everyone's spraying their pubes on everyone all the time about this. It's a European car, just like the Focus RS.
Doesn't matter.
It's a European car. It's the. I mean, is it where you built it or is it the spec?
Here's the thing. So I was just over in Holland, and Holland's full of people that are tall, by the way. They're the tallest people in the world.
Martin, we're 186 centimetres approximately.
Yes.
People have been wondering because they meet us and they think that we're taller than we are.
We're like plus minus 1 centimetre depending what day it is and what we've had for breakfast.
And in feet, that's 6 foot something.
6'1".
I thought it was important to know because you can get a measuring tape out and have a look because there's a lot of interest in how tall we are. We're approximately 186 centimetres.
6'1" in the old measurements.
Anyway,
just
sorry,
under
Martin,
6'1".
Dutch riders.
So Dutch riders, what you realise as well is when you travel through some of these countries, and I highly suggest travelling through as many countries as you can, it's good for your brain, is you start to see the same things. If you go into a convenience shop in Holland or Belgium or the UK or America somewhere,
Shrink-wrapped crabs,
or even Japan, although not maybe as much on that side of the world, you're seeing the same stuff. There's the same Snickers bars and the same M&M's bars and a lot of the same. There's Starbucks in every corner of the world, as an example. So we can't sort of go, oh yeah, but I want one that's made in Japan. Because guess what? The robot that welded it was made in Germany.
And the guy who supports it and services it is in Germany.
And the sheet metal is a recycled Hyundai Excel from Australia that they bought as scrap because it's better quality than what they can pull out of the ground to make the body shell with. You know, it's made in Austria or not, I don't know how much difference that actually makes. It would have.
It's making less difference now than it used to. Because obviously cars like 240Z, it's an iconic car because it changed people's perception of what a Japanese car was like. They went, hey, it's kind of it's faster or it's cheaper than the Jag or the Porsche that it was competing against at the time, and go, wow, maybe we can look to Japan. There is less as all of that becomes more homogenized. And in fact, because of the internet, because of the way that we can travel, because of the way that we can communicate, a lot is being homogenized. And it's a shame for some traditional communities that are now kind of smashing coffees and drinking beers and doing alcohol and all of this stuff. But also the reality is that we are living in this kind of global community that feels like it's getting smaller because you can get on your phone right now, you can book a ticket to the furthest place on Earth, which I think the furthest place you can go is 14,000 kilometres away, because I think it's approximately. Go and get on a plane and you're there tomorrow. We're living in crazy times, people. We're living in the future.
And if you're a company that supplies mechanized robots and machines to car manufacturers, I would hazard a guess there's not that many of those companies in the world.
No.
Is there? And so if you are building a Supra, whether that's in downtown Sydney, in Blacktown, or you are in Austria or you're in Tokyo, you're going to see the same brands like the M&M's of machinery that builds it. Yeah. So the quality and fit and finish is probably going to be
is going to be similar, and it is getting more comparable because for a long time everybody said, "Oh, Japanese cars are really cheap, and you want Euro stuff, you want all the VAG cars and stuff." Then people are going, "Well, all the VAG stuff is now it's too expensive to service," and then you have a look at it and you're just like, "Well, you get a Golf and it takes Castrol Edge, and you get a Nissan, you put Castrol Edge in." Do you know what I mean? Like it's starting to be. We're starting to get in the same.
Anyway, we went on a tangent.
We did go on a tangent.
Supra, get excited. I think it's awesome that they're making them. I wish every other manufacturer would come out with something the same.
Because they had the balls to turbocharge it, while a lot of people didn't. Well, they know it's going to cost more, it's going to be a niche market.
Emissions, it's hard to do.
A lot of people as well think that cars are just all about the enthusiasts, and the times that we've spent with the engineers, they're like, yeah, you want to be able to drift or you want to be able to do this, but you've also got to drive it day to day. And you look at the people who are driving the Focus RS, the majority of them are not on forums, they're not on the internet, they're not watching Mighty Car Mods or whatever other shows that you watch. They're just driving around in the car each day that has to be serviced, it has to be warranted, it has to work.
Or leased through their business because it just made it under the leasing threshold, which when you look at pricing points is another interesting thing.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Most people lease at 55 grand, cool, let's make it 54. Oh, that means the dash is not going to be as good and the clutch is going to wear out. Oh well, we'll sell 100,000 more of them.
And we saw a lot of the tax-free threshold for commercial vehicles when that was raised to $20,000. Suddenly you could buy things for $19,000, whether it be printers or whatever that was.
We digress yet again. It's the digressing unicorn.
Martin, let's talk about Subarus.
Let's talk about
because
Subarus.
there's an exciting Subaru. I saw an ad the other day for the Subaru STi S209, which I don't know much about, but Martin will tell you more about it. But what I do know is, as far as I know, the quick line of it is that it's a JDM spec Subaru STi that you are going to be able to get in very limited numbers in America for the first time.
I believe so. Now, those S209s, they also have them with legacies, which is another exciting thing. S206? Someone's going to correct me on that.
Dude, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so they usually came with like, body kits and nicer interiors, but sometimes they had like some good gear, bigger drive shafts, better gearboxes, stuff like that. In this case, it's actually a pretty cool looking thing. Most importantly is the power output. It's really sort of come up a bit. Like
the fastest STi ever.
Fastest STi ever. And why? Well, they've put a HKS turbo on it, which just basically means probably a bigger turbo. So that
suspension
output is higher. And most interestingly, they've properly forge the engine. So a lot of the time these manufacturers will, forge pistons but still have just steel rods or quite skinny rods to keep the emissions down, to keep the reciprocating mass down, because if the engine's too heavy, it doesn't actually pass emissions even though it makes more power when you put more boost in. When you put more boost in, it makes more pollution, and guess what? You don't have a car.
It doesn't pass emissions.
So this is exciting because if America's getting it, that's awesome. Australia's not. We always miss out on that stuff.
Unless you're fudging your figures.
Unless you're fudging your figures, there's
Who
always
would
that.
do that?
Who would do that? Vag. It also does have big Brembos. What else has it got? Bigger injectors, bigger fuel pump, and ported and polished headers and exhaust. What's this? What is this sounding like? This is sounding like a forum signature.
Yeah.
It's like this is what you do to your STI after you buy it. Well, they're doing it from the factory, which we're seeing with every manufacturer.
We've been talking about this now for a couple of years. Manufacturers, probably a lot to do with emissions, are modifying the cars for you in advance so that you don't need to. I mean, no one wants to get defected because their 180 is too low and they've got the wrong airbag on it or something, and then they can't drive their 180SX for a couple of days, and
it's 2
now you've got to
centimetres
go and
too
try
low.
and find an engineer to fix it up, and you can't drive, and you've borrowed your mate's van just to get around. I mean, that'd suck, wouldn't it?
It'd suck more if you crash the van. Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's an awful scenario for anyone to have to go through. But it is the life of a 180 owner, apparently, from what I've heard. But the point is that if it's from the factory, a lot of people are just like, well, that's the way it's delivered. They've done all the testing. You can drive it around. We've spoken about this before. The Focus RS, it's low. It's got a front mount. It's boosted off its tits. It's got Recaro. It's got an awesome stereo. Now we're seeing it with other cars as well. I think it's also, there's a lot of people that would love to modify cars, but they're scared of kind of getting involved, and they're like, hey, it exists. It's why you had to get these shops that charge you $15,000 to put some lowered springs and a tune on your car. You know what I mean? You go down, take your Subaru, and they do that. There's no cost in that, but they give you some kind of warranty, or they do whatever, and it's obviously big business.
The complexity these days as well of accidentally chopping through a wire that's in your door when you're changing a speaker, which is now part of a CAN network, where if you chop that speaker wire and the network's broken, your whole car just will not start anymore. That's a big change, so it sort of makes sense why people are shying away from it, but that's not to say that everybody's shying away from it, because maybe you can modify stuff still.
Yes.
Maybe we will.
What are you going to talk about electric cars?
Didn't you have an electric car?
I was only going to say one thing about electric cars, and that is Volkswagen is trying to take the Nürburgring EV record.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're trying to do it. The Vag is on fire, so to say.
Lithium burns like crazy.
And they're trying to take the record. So that's something that is in the process of happening. The other thing on the Vag news is the Mark 8 is coming out soon. The Mark 8 Golf, which they'll obviously base the GTI, the normal Golf, the Golf R, all that kind of stuff. It's meant
Real
to be
estate agents everywhere are just like, yes, my next lease car.
Yeah, exactly. Middle-aged women are
the
just
aftermarket are
now.
like, yes, when they get sick of their cars, we'll get them for cheap, and then we'll make them mad and fast.
They're not meant to be, I think it's not meant to be revealed for another 6 months or so, except it would appear some Vag employee has gone through a Macca's drive-through without any of the hiding stuff on the car, without any of the camouflage, and someone just took a photo of it, and now everyone knows what it looks like.
Had one
it kind
job.
of looks like a Corolla. Yeah,
but see, this is the thing, right? Like, someone knows enough about Golfs to know the difference between a Mark 7 and a Mark 8. If you lined up a Mark 5, 6 and 7 together, I mean, look, they're different, but they're not different. Well, and the 8's not that different either. Yeah. Come on, man.
I like how you didn't put the 4 in there.
Because the 4 looks totally different.
Yes.
I was in Europe, man. There was Mark 4s everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, were they still? Which is funny because you don't see many of them here.
Dude.
I saw a 2-door Mark 4 R32 in blue the other day. Incredible.
Was it good?
Absolutely incredible. If you've got one of them, I salute you, man, lady, woman, sir. Incredible.
I was sitting on a highway doing the speed limit, which in those countries is like 130 k's an hour. And you know when you're sitting in your car and something goes past you fast and it rocks your car?
Yes.
My whole car went like that, fully from the air buffeting.
It was a Yaris.
No, it was a Mark 4.
Oh, was it?
It was doing easy 230 to 240 k's
Which
an
they
hour.
do easily. That's
Dude,
what they do.
I was just like, what is that?
Yeah. It's that the whole Vag scene over there is so different to what it's like.
And
over
the
here.
only close call I had with almost getting crashed into in Belgium drivers, you guys are crazy, was also a Golf Mark III.
That said, Mark III, that's interesting. It's kind of easy to go, it was this, but also, is the majority of cars you saw over there Volkswagens?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, BMWs actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I saw more Beamers than anything else. And anything that was going really fast past me in that lane, because you guys drive on that side, was always some off its face Mercedes-Benz coupe or an M2, M3, M4 type thing. Or like big saloon cars, because the petrol's so expensive, it's not as common to have them, and everyone else is driving around in 1.3 litre, little big. There's
one country I've been to where I did not see a Volkswagen. I did not see one Volkswagen. Want to take a guess where it was?
Cuba.
There's two countries I've been to that I've not seen one. Want to take a guess?
New Zealand.
There is 3 countries I've been to that I've not seen a Volkswagen. You want to take a guess what it was?
Hong Kong.
I can't remember.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't see any in Fiji and haven't seen them in Indonesia either, but it's wrecking my story. It's where I was recently. I was in Korea recently. I did not see one Volkswagen anywhere.
Oh, really?
Everywhere was Hyundais and Kias, everywhere. I got in a Hyundai limousine. And here's the weird thing they do over there. They sit you behind the passenger seat, which I've never seen before. Then they fold the front passenger seat forward and then move it all the way forward so you've got all this space around you. And that's just the way they do it over there. I also saw a bus, the biggest bus I've ever seen, called a Hyundai Universe. What an awesome name.
Do they call the limousine Stingerzines?
No,
that'd be a good
that's
name.
pretty good. Unless they were yellow, and that'd be problematic.
Why?
It's a Stinger joke, right?
What's
a Kia Stinger?
Oh yeah, the paint falls off them.
Yeah, that's right.
That's anyway, this news was like 5 times longer than we thought it would be.
No, we're keeping it snappy because it's lunchtime. So, last piece of news. This is an exciting one.
Oh, this is massive.
The Skid Factory. We've just set up a new channel.
We have.
And we've just uploaded the video to them. I wish it was exciting enough that there was some epic drama or something, but it's actually just the reality of trying to upload videos all at the same time.
Yes.
And we've been uploading all of these videos, helping edit the Cresta ones, doing Unicorn Circuit, doing our own stuff as well. And so we thought it's probably going to be easier if they can access that as well. Yep. And so now there's double login.
Extra.
So you can check that out now by clicking the thing. It's a new channel. Videos of the Skid Factory go up every week. We're still going to be working with those guys. Actually, everything's exactly the same. It's just sitting on a new
Except you'll
place.
see, you'll punch in a different thing, or it'll come up differently in the subscribe box. Give them a little subscribe and click the little bell thing. And they got an epic new build starting that I'm so frothed.
Which if they weren't doing it, we would do. We've been talking about doing one of these cars for years, and now they're doing it. And I think that's coming out in the next week. So
soon. It's the very next thing you'll see.
Make sure you check out the Skid Factory.
Yep.
And make sure you hit subscribe as well, because when you hit subscribe and they reach a certain threshold, then they might even get some AdSense.
That'd be cool.
Which would pay for a spanner or something.
Amazing.
Which would be awesome.
What's
there?
next?
It is. There it is. Everybody, we're up to. Is that even legal? This week on Is That Even Legal? I'm having a quick chat about money, everybody. Man, would you like to go and buy a packet of Snickers bars for $5?
For $5?
What about, $5.60. Would you like to do that? Yes.
Yep.
What if you only had 5-cent coins? Would you like to buy it anyway? Yes.
Yes.
Illegal.
Yes.
You can't do it.
Depends what state you're in.
Well, it would appear that if you're in the state of the United States of Trump, then over there, we've seen these videos on YouTube of people getting parking fines and trying to pay with pennies, big bags, and I'm going to get, They don't sound like they're bogans though. They sound, you have to take my thing. In Australia, there's actually laws mandating it, and you can't use 10 times the face value of that coin, and that's to stop things like that. So for the $1 and $2 coins, so you can't spend more than $10 of $1 coins. And when it comes to all of our small coins, our 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, you cannot exceed $5 worth of value.
You don't have to take it.
So $5. So if you go to a shop, which happened recently here and made the news, and go, I want to buy something for $7. There's 5-cent pieces. They can go, you know what? No. And I thought you should know.
Like coins, is coins still a thing? They are, aren't they?
Unfortunately.
Speaking of, sorry, I'm going back to Europe again, because some things just don't make sense. So how come a whole bunch of your parking meters, like Europe feels so far ahead in so many ways.
Yes.
And you go to a parking thing and everything's got like tap and go.
Can I just say they are so far ahead because Australia is only Australia, while has been, had people living here for tens of thousands of years, it's only been settled in a current format that we see it for thousands of years less than Europe has. That's all.
That is true. Like you go and stay in a place there and it's got $12.35 on the front door. But you can go and tap and go to all these car parks, but then some of them it's like coins only. And you get fined if you park there, but there's nowhere. But if you don't have coins, then you can't.
That's ridiculous.
It must happen to a lot of
The
people.
other thing that's ridiculous, rant time, is you go to a big shopping centre.
Yeah.
You go to Macquarie, you go to the one in Blacktown, you go to Castle Towers, you go down there, and you go to the food court, and some of them just say cash only. What the hell is going on here?
A tax check.
And it's like, I want to buy a drink for $1.20. You have to give me $1.20's worth of coins. Oh, no change, cash only. It's like, I reckon the centre management needs to go, if you're not taking a card, get out.
Well, those people will
Everyone's
tell
paying
you
with their watches and their phones.
They'll tell you that the card machines cost too much.
But they don't. That's not true.
No, they don't.
Because we got one for when we do our Mighty Car Ones meets. What do they cost? $80 a year, $100 a year or something?
That, yeah.
And we use it once or twice a year when we do
And even now you can get the little like PayPal
Get Square, which is the thing. That's what we use at Wishbone, right? Square, and you just go like anyway. Cash is dead. There's big companies.
A lot of people will tell you
actively
that
trying
cash
to kill
is king.
That. In the corporate world, they're trying to kill cash.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you can't.
Who's trying to kill it?
The Visa card company.
Yes, exactly. They're trying to get rid of it, and that's an active thing they're trying to get rid of.
Well, that's our conspiracy hat cat section taken care of.
Really?
Well,
no, we've got something else for that. Martin, let's move it on. We've got weird stuff from Unicorn.
This week on Weird Stuff from Unicorn, it's actually weird stuff from Europecorn. Because
Is it? Europecorn.
Europe has an obsession, probably because everyone in Europe watches this show, with unicorns. They are everywhere,
really?
dude. They are absolutely everywhere. And I got you this as a little gift, as a little souvenir.
What is it, Mum?
It's a unicorn. I think it's a stress ball. So you should play with that and tell me if it relieves any stress. So you squeeze it.
That makes me feel really uncomfortable.
You squeeze it, and then little jelly balls
come out.
fall out of multiple
It actually,
holes.
it actually looks like if I. Do you like that's just kind of a bit gross.
It sort of looks like roadkill. Like it looks like something ran over it.
You also got me, Martin. You got me a little turtle keyring.
I did get you,
which was very nice because I have a car that I affectionately refer to as the turtle, and you got me a keyring for it, which is great. And what are these, Martin?
I also got you because,
Magic Sniff.
Again, Europe is obsessed with unicorns. In so
Do they
many
have sniff
shops,
on them?
they have like unicorn sections, and it just says believe in magic. It should say believe in the unicorn circuit because it's never going away.
It should say believe in your dream.
So I thought we could use this as a little like crumb catcher. Crumbs catcher for crumbs. Because we often eat things on this
we're
show.
Going to eat those weird things.
And we would save the crumbs from falling on the floor and it would catch them.
And then, great. Love it.
What's next?
So awkward. Let's move it on to mycrapcar. Every week on the show, we love to show people your crap car, and no doubt you like to show your crap car as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't send it to us. How's that for a scenario? And this week, Martin, we've got something. We've got something that's bellissimo.
We have the literal meaning of lol worthy. This was proper laugh out loud. I don't know. It's just really well done. The car is amazing. The production value is amazing. And you couldn't be more Aussie if you tried.
Speaking of production value, quick segue because we didn't put it in the news.
Yeah.
We got back from Japan recently. We made our feature film over there, Super Turbos and Temples, also known as Turbos and Temples 2. If you haven't seen that, then you can click on the thing. It's 3 hours of JDM awesomeness adventure. A lot of people watched the first one, and then the second one had a kind of an upload. Then there was a problem with the file that went up again. So the second one is up there and ready to go now. It's called Part 2, so you'll know it's not Part 1. Anyway, there it is. Now let's get back to the Aussie. This is Aussie presentation of a crap car.
Aussie presentation of an English car, which is a 1986 Land Rover V8. Check it out.
Hi Unicorn Circuit, I'm Peter, and this is my, 1986 Land Rover County. Not only is it one of the most capable off-road vehicles ever made, but its size also makes it perfect for storing garbage and depressed sheepdogs. This is my mum. Technically she owns the Landy, but only because I wasn't born at the time when it was purchased. Here she is making sure there are spider webs only where they are really needed for strength. This is my dad. He hates Land Rovers. That's his 8th one. His 7th one's up there in the shed. With over 400,000 Ks on this petrol V8, you might think it'd be difficult to start. That was true once, but this one has been to see the German, who fitted the fuel injection system from a first-generation Discovery. It's powered by the ubiquitous 3.5-litre Rover V8, originally designed by Buick as an iron block in the 50s, then improved by the British, who decided to make it out of aluminium for some reason. Ignore that 9, that's a typo. If you're not familiar with old Land Rovers, this is about the right amount of liquid that should be on the ground underneath them. Other modifications include a swing-away tyre carrier that I designed so the back door would stop falling off, shiny new LED blinkers and brake lights, and some 7-inch LED headlights that don't mind the 9 volts available at the end of the wiring loom. There's an obnoxious light bar out of my brother's bin, some air horns out of Kmart's bin, a battery isolator to keep the electricity from escaping, some Dynamat Extreme to keep your feet from going on fire, some aftermarket suspension, a big bastard reversing light, and a driver's seat from a later model Defender. This is a clever part of the anti-theft system. To go for a drive, simply slide underneath and bleed the clutch slave cylinder 4 to 6 times. Some factory original features include windows that mostly shut, door hinges on the outside, so you can take your doors off or whatever, indicator and windscreen wiper levers that are reversed for some presumably good reason, decals, and a body made out of aluminium left over from making planes in World War II, so rust is only a problem on minor components like the wheels and chassis. A quick instrument check, right indicator, and left indicator. Perfect. Okay, we're ready to go for a drive.
Yay.
One of my brothers says it handles like a drunken cutlery drawer. He made that bit, incidentally. Oh, and, that bit. Amazingly, in more than 30 years, this car has only run over 2 trees, 1 boulder, and 1 escaped psychiatric patient. I think maybe my favourite thing about it is the sound. The combination of the old British V8 with all the squeaks and rattles and, oh, listen to this. I mean, how many cars are there really that have an audible clutch pedal?
I think the clutch is pretty perfect.
You see? The old girl might be showing its age, but it still has a lot of charm. And a lot of oil leaks. And exhaust leaks. So as long as there are spare parts available, we're going to keep on enjoying it.
So what do you think?
Seems to work,
Oh,
for the time being.
So there it is. If you want to share a video of your crap car, you can send it to mycrapcar at the Unicorn Circuit. Our graphics are flashing out right now just above your bits.
Your
so
crumb
there it is.
catcher.
You can send those in. And next up, we've got Tinfoil Hat Cat. Each week on the show, Marty brings us a conspiracy. But this week, I'd like to bring a conspiracy,
Please
Martin.
do.
Now, we've known now that it's a fact that the Moranga is happening.
The Moranga. Do you remember the Moranga? Here's a picture if you don't remember it.
Marty predicted the Moranga, which was an Amarok and Ranger. Ford and Vag have now confirmed.
Well, they took my picture. They found the picture on the internet because when you look up Amarok
we
versus
don't know
Ranger
that.
on the internet,
We don't know
what
that.
comes up? A picture of none other but the Moranga. Thanks to you guys watching this video and just obviously sharing the absolute balls out of it.
Yeah.
The Moranga has now been
Yeah.
being officially created, right?
It was definitely because of that Photoshop that you did, Martin. Absolutely. I don't think it's been years in the making. I think they saw this episode and just decided to make it.
Well, how could they
Brilliant.
not? Because everyone in the Unicorn Circuit who watches is going to go buy one, right?
Well, I don't know, Martin, but here's the thing that's interesting, and I'm about to get to the conspiracy, but here's what's interesting. The Ford Ranger, I think, is probably like if we're going to compare the two of them, an Amarok and a Ranger, the Ranger is the more capable car. It's got more tech in it. It's more whatever. It's
You're
like
going to
we've driven
upset
them off-road.
so many Amarok owners.
Yeah,
man.
but you know what? But then,
we've driven both.
Yeah. We've spent a lot of time in both, and what I would say is if you're going to go off-road, you know, the Ranger seems to do its thing. But as an on-road car, the Amarok is a nice car. It's nice and quiet. It's the most car-like. It's the less truck-like.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. So the question is when they make an Amarok or Ranger, is it going to be the ultimate?
An Amarok Ranger.
Is it going to be really good off-road, but really quiet and compliant? What's it going to be?
I hope so. Because if you could take the good bits of an Amarok and a Ranger and put it together and have a really good Amarok Ranger.
Well, it would be the ultimate,
good.
because they're both really good cars, but good for different things. Now, there's going to be lots of people that go, I've got an Amarok, I take it off-road, it's really we know it is. They're really good. We know the Ranger is as well. We've spent time in both. We're not just talking a whole lot of bullshit.
Well, we are, but...
Of course we are. It's actually what we do today.
It's informed bullshit.
But it is informed. Anyway, here's the conspiracy, Martin. So apparently I do believe it's one of your least favourite cars, the Porsche Macan. Is that what it's called? It's got
an identity crisis, man.
Yeah, it's down near the bottom of the list. Now, apparently it's got a Golf engine in it, right?
Okay.
Yep. Now, if you've got a Golf and you go your GRKPR, Revo, do whatever you want to do, and you take it there and they plug the thing and do the whatever, then that's cool. But if you take your Porsche there that's got the same engine, then you can't use the same thing on it. Because Porsche is like, no, you've got to use some different thing.
You reckon?
No, no, that's the conspiracy. That the computer goes, no, this ECU, even though it's controlling the same thing of pump some petrol in there, bring some air in there, squash it up, splat it, pump it out again. Because the computer knows it's a Porsche, it won't let you have the same accessibility as you do with the normal badge tunes.
Are you sure of that?
No, I'm not. That's why it's conspiracy hat cat.
See, I reckon, this is my conspiracy, I reckon that those hacker dudes who hack all this stuff, because it's big business, I reckon they could do it, man. I don't reckon
of course they can.
Bosch or whoever makes their ECUs would go, that's a McCann one and that's a VW one. Let's make it so different that you can't... there's no way they're doing that.
Yeah.
Because they still consider this hacker market tiny. Yeah. And it is.
The conspiracy, and I'm not saying technically the conspiracy, I'm saying the conspiracy is for owners of the Porsches that they won't go and put Golf tunes on their car because their car's a Porsche.
Well, you wouldn't.
Why not?
Because it's a Porsche, dude.
But that's the opposite of what you just said.
No, but you don't put Golf tunes on a Porsche.
No, you're confusing me, because that's exactly what I was just saying. No, that's what I'm saying.
But you wouldn't.
Why not, though?
Because it's a Porsche.
Because ECU says no.
No, but you wouldn't.
I would.
Even if you... No,
of course I would.
No, if you owned a Macan, if you owned a Porsche, you would not be caught dead with a tune on your Macan that says anything in the file name VW.
That's my whole point. That's what you were just arguing against.
No, but you're saying manufacturer. I'm saying owners.
What?
I'm talking from the owners. I'm not talking about the manufacturers.
Dude, we're talking about the same thing.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Because what I'm saying is the conspiracy exists to owners of the car. This is the conspiracy. It's not a fact. That your ECU can't take Golf stuff because it's a Porsche. And well, of course, I would never do that. But they're not. They get to blame that like they get to blame, oh, my missus said I can't go out. They're blaming...
No one ever says that.
They're blaming Porsche's ECU for not unlocking the banana of their VAG engine that's in their Porsche car.
They're blaming it on the fact that it's a Porsche and you wouldn't.
No, they're not.
I'm utterly confused, as I think half the audience is. So,
if you had a Porsche Macan, or whatever they're called, and I don't even know what they're called, and you could plug a laptop in there and get like 30% extra power, would you do it?
But
it's a VAG tune.
You had to put a little badge on your car that said tuned by VW.
No, you don't. You don't have to do any of that. Now I know you're just being foolish. So that's silly.
If you've made it this far and you would
you flash tune your
if you would put
Porsche?
if you would put a VAG tune, VW tune on your Macan,
yes,
in the comments, write I would VAG. And if you wouldn't, you say no mucking way.
No, that's too confusing. How about, I like where you're going though.
Yeah, you do it.
I would VAG, no VAG for me.
Good. Glad we sorted that out. What's next?
In capitals.
The most mature part of a show going around the modern internets. This is Fanking.
Fanking is the delightful art of recontextualising a product's name by taking a photo of it down near your crotch. And this week, we're just smashing our way through it. I've actually got 2 Fanks of the week this week. I know that's controversial.
There's 2 really good ones.
Yeah, and a bunch of ordinary ones.
Okay,
but we're going to work our way up to it. So here we go. Cut to the music.
Bang, bang,
bang.
bang, bang, bang,
There it is.
Bang, bang, bang.
There we go.
Cocktails have been so good for Fanking.
They're so good. They've changed it. No ugly ginger.
No ugly.
Fair enough. Good job. I would drink that, by the way.
I'd give it a go.
The safe
Anti-static hose.
and easy way to transfer liquid. Just jiggle it. Transferring liquid of sorts. Martin, that's arse lube. Now, we see a lot of glass and they finger the GL, but what word is that? That's
assembly.
Arse. Is it?
Yeah.
And in the background, he's got a Fender drum stool by the looks of things, Martin. Which is no, it must be a Fender guitar stool, of course. It looks like a drum throne, but it's a guitar stool that's got a, it's a thing. Well done. Next up, Martin, lucky stick and a tattooed foot. There you go. Good luck with those
Someone
ones.
went Fanking with you.
That's chamois butt. So what does that mean?
I thought it said cream. No.
Is it chamois? What is that? Soaks up the liquid?
The ultimate skin lubricant. Chamois, butt chamois. It's a butt chamois, basically.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's good.
There you go. Well done.
Have a dry butt.
Boom, boom, shrimp.
Poor shrimp.
All right. Next up, Martin Pooey. I mean, that's just funny. That's just juvenile. That's just one for our mums who don't watch this to see how far we've come in life.
Yep.
Martin, here we go. Oh, yeah.
Oh, salty.
Look at that. There you go.
Oh, so salty. Would you eat a salty gay time?
No, and any of the special edition gay times are not into them at all. I just want the good old classic.
Why do they need to put salt in sweet stuff?
It's an American thing, I think. Like Reese's
peanut butter
and chocolate, and they have jelly and salted stuff. I don't know. It's a little bit weird.
I'd love to get it. I don't get it.
I don't want to get it.
But I also don't get certain foods.
Martin, here we go. We've got 2 Fanks of the week.
Oh, double drum roll.
All right, Fank of the week, number 1. Boom. Anal rub. Well done. And next up, one that, a few people out there may be able to associate with the very lazy sausage. Good job.
It's sleeping.
You can send us your Fanks. Actually, don't send them to us. You can put them on the Fanking Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Fanking Daily. The thing's flashing on the doodle. There it is, Martin. It's time to wrap this shop. No, it's not. We've got mytown. And it's an incredible one this week. So let's hook right into mytown.
My Town is a delightful section of this show where you take us to your town. It's one of my favourite things on the modern internet today, aside from Supras with grumpy cat rear ends. In this particular episode of My Town, some Australian gentleman with really good taste in cars is taking us to a place in Hungary, and I have to read this because it's trippy. It's Balaton Alamadi. Balaton Alamadi. And he takes us to a couple of little areas in this particular area of Hungary. It looks cold. Now, bonus points for this mytown, because this mytown looks as if it's been filmed over multiple seasons. Not seasons like you'd stream in a Netflix season. I mean like, hey, it's winter, hey, it's spring, hey, it's summer, check out my mad town. So absolutely,
that's incredible.
One of my favourite mytowns ever. Check it out. Let's go to Hungary.
Here we are in beautiful Balaton Armadi. First real snow we've had since December. Snow mode is definitely engaged, although it's actually not very deep. The guy next door just left in a Mark 1 Golf with no dramas. It's usually a summer destination. Population almost tripling in summer actually.
Taking a bit of a shortcut through the forest here. Thought it'd be interesting for the Aussies who apparently are in the middle of a face melting heat wave. You don't want to be out here after 4 PM in winter. It's hunting season, and at the moment it's pretty much open season because they're culling wild pigs and deers. This is Lake Balaton. Pretty chilly today, not that cold. Not quite cold enough to get out there with skates on. It's only a couple of centimetres thick, but it's a good start because it's frozen over nice and smooth. It's the no swimming sign. Not much danger of that today. Different today makes. We've had temperature fluctuations of about 20 degrees lately, and all the ice is gone and the birds are loving it. We're at the entrance to the main beach at Balaton Armadi. In summertime there's a wine festival here. You got all wine stalls lining both sides of this promenade. It's been a wine producing region since Roman times, and the wine festival or the summer festivals have been happening here since about the 1850s when it first became a tourist destination. Thing that's pretty cool is a bike track that goes the whole way around the lake. This is one bit where you can enter it, and it's about 200 k's long. So in summer people like to pack up all their camping gear and over a couple of days ride around the lake. I agree. This is a little bird viewing dock just up from the beach. Not too much bird viewing going on today, or even fish to look at. But usually you can see the fish under the ice, but not today. They're hiding somewhere else. Also in summer, if you come down here, you'll see Nutra, which are a giant aquatic guinea pig introduced from South America. Someone must have thought they were cute. Definitely one of my favourite sights on the roads around here is these Unimogs. 8 forward gears, 4 reverse gears, high range, low range, every single hydraulic attachment you can imagine, and you can switch them from left hand drive to right hand drive almost on the fly. This should be a sight that's familiar to most Mighty Car Mod viewers. Just, we'll click our fingers and this will be finished in a second. Oh, look at this dreamy beast. Oh, he's got some nice wood veneer in there now as well. Oh man, oh, this is cozy. How do you make it ultra light? Quick pit stop down here in the bakery. We've missed the rush hour, but there's still plenty of good stuff left over. Looks like the tradies have raided it for all the savoury things though. No pies or sausage rolls. And this is Shumloy Galushka. That's the good stuff right there. You always got to try it everywhere you see it. That's been it for Balaton Armadi. Nice day here today. Most of the ice has melted off the lake. Winter's over. We can get back to the business of mountain biking. Thanks for watching.
Absolutely incredible. I'm going to give you 17 claps. Don't slow it down and count, because I may have got that wrong.
I feel like you're from Hungary.
Oh, because it's lunchtime?
No, because you're always hungry.
I am always hungry.
Like you would be a citizen of Hungary.
Yeah, I'm so ready for lunch, which is why we're about to do some random eat bag. We've got Mailbag, and then we're going to finish it off. Everybody, let's kick it into Mailbag. This week on Mailbag, we're going to be using the knife that one of you legends made us, and we're going to open this up. If you want to send us something, or you can send it to Unicorn Circuit Mailbag, PO Box 475, Sydney Markets, New South Wales 2129, Australia. This one here, Martin, is from the PodFilter.
The PodFilter. Now, I've heard about these homies. They make a podcast.
Do they?
I'm pretty sure they do. It
says cut along here to open, which is good. Whoa, what have you got there?
I don't know.
Japanese stuff.
The
awesome. PodFilter has sent us, to Marty and Moog. Look at the packaging here,
hello. Oh, this looks good.
Oh, it says too sexy and twisted. Oh, I'm getting excited. All right, so first of all, I'm listening to the PodFilter,
that
which
sticker is going on our sticker
on
thing.
our toolbox downstairs. Automotive podcast talking about the things that matter, cars, events, people, and YouTube. So check that out. G'day from Western Australia, Marty and Moog. It's Adam here from the PodFilter Podcast. After much deliberation between my co-host Simon, our listeners and myself, we felt that Too Sexy and Twisted were missing just that little something to make them both legit, fully hectic Evos.
Man knows.
Keep up the awesome work, guys. Regards, Adam Ward from the PodFilter Podcast.
Dude, I'm chomping at the bit.
There's
Thanks for the sticker.
there's
That's cool.
Too Sexy. This is Twisted. Are you ready?
3.
In 1, 2, 3, and. Oh, they're little Evo air dispersion things.
Vortex generators.
Oh, sorry, it's a vortex generator.
Questionable efficacy.
Thank you, guys. That's
cool.
very, very
I'm
thoughtful.
gonna what if I
very
just put
kind of you.
one? Will I generate one massive vortex because I'm doing like double what anything
What
else
if,
Evo can do?
I've got an idea. I've got a really, really good idea. Just move your head. Can you feel my hand on the back of your head?
Yeah.
Move it forward as fast as you can. Go. All right. Now, watch this shit. This is gonna blow everyone's wormholes. Good. This is. It's time to finally test the science of the vortex generator. Okay. Are you ready? Put that right there. Which way do they go? Do you know?
By the way, this is going on next week's Mailbag because this is too epic. There's a crap. This is amazing. I'm going to honour this with its own special thing because it's just too
Mailbag.
crazy.
Really?
Its own Mailbag.
All right. There we go. Which way do they go? That way.
That's the big mystery of vortex generators.
And go. Whoa!
So much faster.
There we go, dude. They're going on the car
Because
Look
the
at
air
that.
is not as disturbed.
That's awesome, Martin. We've got a letter. That's just from the bank, I think. Martin, this
is a problem with banks, dude. They don't go away.
there's a letter there, Martin. I'm handing you that one because this box looks more exciting.
Thanks, man. So far I've had one letter from the bank saying probably owe us money or something. Make more videos. I can't open it. I don't know how to open it.
Martin, this is in a box from Amazon.
What? Did someone actually get us like a thing?
And it actually looks like it's sealed.
Oh, hang on. What is this?
So let's have a quick little look
From
at it.
Andrew. I mean, should we be checking this stuff before we
This
open
is
it?
from John and Hiromi Carey from Hampton in VA. VA is in the USA, Martin, isn't it? Police Department,
cool.
City of New York. That's
there-
cool.
where's
Oh, I think somebody spoke to us about sending us that.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Thanks for the videos. Andrew McKean, Brooklyn, New York. Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank
you, mate.
Andrew. I believe he might be in the police department.
This homemade knife that somebody made us out of a spring.
Is it really good?
It's just, it's
best
sharp,
thing.
it's clever. Feel the back.
That's
what
really
they've done
cool.
is they put the metal on it, then they put the wood on it, and then they've sanded afterwards so that that's seamless. Rub your finger along the back of that. That's just amazing.
That is going on our wall downstairs of cool stuff. Thank you very much. That's awesome.
That's possibly a questionable candy name. What do you reckon? Choco Boy.
Oh.
But thank you very much for sending that. And I'm looking forward to
man,
eating
what
it.
else is there?
We've got something else. There's multiple things in here.
Oh my God.
We've got Poppin' Cookin'
What is that?
Tanoshi Bento Box.
Oh, it's one of those Japanese make your own.
We've got Poppin' Cookin' Tanashi Waffle.
Oh, dude, this is where you like add water to your broccoli powder and it'll become a green, firm, gelatinous mess.
I can't read what that says, sorry.
Toshi waffle.
But, my son's ride
Wow.
has a Mitsubishi Addiction. It's got a Mighty Car Mods sticker. Look at this. Repping Mighty Car Mods at the local speedway.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, photos, old school photos. This is
amazing.
awesome. More repping of that. My son Thomas bought this as soon as he landed in Japan. Moog style, sight unseen, Mitsubishi. Look at that.
Oh, good choice.
That's awesome.
Is that a 6?
Or a 5. I don't
Five
know
or a
much about
6?
Evos. I don't know. 5.
That's cool as.
And our project car,
Evo.
work in progress. Have a look at that. There is a quick letter that
Evo
I'm going to get
legend.
through here.
What
Get
is
through
that?
some. Marty Moog, hope this note finds you well. My JDM wife Hiromi and I recently retired from the US Navy after 30 years.
Good on you.
We're currently working on a Mark II Supra build, 1UZ swap
that's
to
what
give
that
to my
is.
son. Thomas, who's deployed to Misawa, Japan in the US Air Force. This is my first real build, so I have MTM and MCM TV, 2 inspirational videos running constantly while I'm working. Do you have any words of wisdom or encouragement? Don't give up, get help from people smarter than you. That's what I do, and have fun. Enjoy
Have
the
fun.
process.
Make sure you enjoy it. If it's getting unfun, change it up.
We were talking about this yesterday, and there's this weird relationship you've got between when something gets really hard, whether you just like pay someone else to do it, or whether you go through and you've got to try and walk your own line of going, is it going to be really enjoyable for me to like go through this and work through it and spend 3 weeks to change this particular thing and get something out of it? Or are you better off just getting someone in for an hour, helping you, and then continuing on with other stuff? No one will know the answer to that except for you. You will have to dance your own Dance. MCMTV2 technical content is awesome. By the way, if you go to Drag Week 2019, can I get all of you to autograph my front quarter panel before I clear coat it? That would make it faster. Thanks again for all you do. Best of luck in 2019 from John Carey, Ping Jockey from Hampton.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
Cool note.
That was very awesome. We've got near the end, Martin, so it's time for random eat bag.
But I want to eat this.
We'll do both.
Let's do both.
Run the graphics. All right, random eat bag. We expand our brains and try going forward. Let's see if it still works. Whoa!
Oh,
That was a big hit.
man, it's big impact, but it works really well, generating that vortex.
We're gonna
the
eat
vortex
some-
protected my head.
We're going to eat some Choco Boy. You can open that, Martin, if you want, so you can use the incredible knife. And we're also
we're
going to
gonna
use
use the
some
eat bag.
some Jogger Choco. Yeah, I know,
Where's the
because
eat bag?
well,
It
there's
doesn't fit
stuff
anyway.
in the eat bag as well. This here appears to be a potato chip that's covered in pink icing. So we're going to have a little crack at
It
that.
goes against my theories, man.
Oh, see, I've never seen anything that looks like that before.
I don't
You ever seen
know.
anything that looks like that?
I'm sure it tastes good because it's like a Japan lolly thing, but
You'll really like it. It's really good.
is it salty though?
No, it's absolutely delicious. It's disgusting. Let's try a Choco Boy and then wrap this up, because lunchtime was 15 minutes ago.
Choco Boy is like a little mushroom-looking thing.
Oh, very similar to the things I have in
Yeah,
Japan.
awesome.
Choco Boy. Amazing. Thank you for watching the Unicorn Circuit. Make sure you check out our Japan feature film. The next video you're going to see on the main Mighty Camos channel is Too Sexy Getting Fixed. And the next week or so is going to be the battle. There is a video about that where you can choose the challenge. We're going to link it up above. Make sure you check out the new channel of the Skid Factory. And also make sure you fill yourself with choco.
Whatever you do, don't sneeze, you might shoot someone. Oh, that was snotty.